In this guide, I'll give you a quick overview of the 3 combat styles, as well as teach you some secrets to help you in your game. Note that some combat styles work better for certain bosses, so don't be afraid to switch up your build, especially if you're getting destroyed. Resetting your points is free and can be done anytime you're not in battle. Windslide is fast and agile. Hits send out extra homing attacks, and when fully charged, you can unleash an attacking dash, which can help you get in more hits or reposition to avoid damage. This was the hardest style for me. I had a lot more success with the other 2. Berserk Slash dishes out lots of damage. You can even chain Bloodburst attacks by hitting the enemy and then picking up the gems to reset your Bloodburst bar. I found counter style was my best option early on when I was learning the bosses. The shields and healing options kept me alive longer, and when you build up your counter bar, you can trigger it at the right time to ignore the enemy's damage and send it right back at them. Find a build that works for you, but here's a strong Berserk and counter build I was using to beat the game. Getting around the overworld can feel slow since you only get 3 dashes, but try this trick once you get the Wild Hunt Shard from the Deer God fight. Equip it on your dash slot. If you try to dash without a charge, you'll spend some of your health to dash anyways. In the overworld, you can just dash to your destination and leave a trail of blood the entire way. Just remember to use a save crystal to reset your health and swap your shards before battle unless you like this option. Speaking of shard placement, here are some options that I found useful in a lot of situations. Both the Corrupted Grasp and Lightbringer Shard are excellent in the Bloodburst slot. The Lightbringer is especially good here since it gives you more speed when Bloodburst connects, and this pairs really well with Berserk combat style, in which you're landing Bloodbursts and collecting gems to do it all over again. The Corrupted Grasp is good here too, especially against enemies who stay in one area for a while, but also works really well in the main combat slot, especially with the counter style. Not only will your counter stop the enemy's damage, but you'll likely fill your HP bar in the process. The Corrupted Grasp is also useful in the active slot, since it lets you hook around the area to reposition or damage a boss. But I preferred the Singularity Orb as my active shard. It sends out a slow moving orb which does a little damage, and you can trigger it again while it's in transit to teleport to its location and add more damage. These last secrets are truly hard to figure out on your own. Edd the Wanderer is the muse you keep running into. When in the Citadel, give him the harp string you found in the abandoned battleground. Edd will give you the Feather of Dawn, which increases your movement speed when out of combat. Next, when you get to the Everforest, go north until you see a gate and collect the Sunfire Butterfly. Then go to the Spire and use the Sunfire Butterfly on the telescope. Now talk to Edd to get the Blessed Feather of Dawn, which increases movement speed and damage while moving. Now to solve the Blacksmith Quest. When in the Citadel, pick up the Wallguard insignia and bring it back to him. Next, in the Spire, find the Rusted Key and go back to the Citadel. The Rusted Key will open the room in the top left, and in there you'll find a bag of crowns. This is the money the blacksmith wants, and he'll let you choose between reinforced plating or sharpening steel. The next quest allows you to pledge yourself to one of 4 NPCs on the map. Note that you can pledge yourself to all 4 without a problem, but in the end, you can only use your empty vessel on 1 NPC each playthrough. I'll explain each option, but first we need to get our hands on the empty vessel. For this, you'll need the Alchemist, located in the bottom left-hand corner of Concord Sanctuary. First, get the Amethyst Vial in front of that locked door you opened with the Rusted Key in the Citadel, and take it to the Alchemist. After you defeat Heim in the Spire, the ice-covered door to the left will melt and grant you access to the Negative Zone, where you'll find some research papers by going right and then up. Bring these papers to the Alchemist. Once you defeat the Deer God and Warden of Purity, you'll gain access to the Moon's Way. Dodge the lasers here and take the left path to collect the Abyssal Stone. Bring this back to the Alchemist and finally receive the empty vessel. This item allows you to collect essence from specific slain bosses and give that to one of 4 NPCs per playthrough. Here are your options. The Abyssal Crow is located in the lower left corner of the Citadel. Collect the essence from Ezekiel and bring it here to get the Abyssal Eye. This item stores the damage you take and pulses 150% of that damage every 15 seconds. Or find the Forest Sage in the Everforest on top of the middle building. Grab the essence from the Warden of Purity and bring it to the Forest Sage. Note that you'll also need to cleanse all 3 shrines in the Everforest before the Sage rewards you, and you can do this with the filled vial before or after you talk to it. With the Hunter's Blessing reward, if you take at least 30 damage within half a second, it'll cause a wild burst that heals you for 25% of your HP, but this can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. Next option is the Bright Inquisitor, who's also in the Everforest in the door below the Forest Sage. To unlock his door, you'll need the Smothered Heart of Fire, which is close to the Alchemist. Now collect the essence from Eos, the hot and cold orb boss, and take it to the Bright Inquisitor. This will give you the Kindled Heart of Fire, which charges up every time you heal. Once it's charged, it'll explode for 250% of the healing accumulated. The last option is from the Frigid Father, located in the lower left of the Spire. To get here, you'll need to use the Trueice Prism you found in the Everforest to remove the icicles and carefully make your way across the ice towards him. Watch out for the obstacles on the ice, they'll kill you instantly. Give him the essence from Heim and receive the blessed Trueice Prism, which stops lethal blows from killing you and instead leaves you with 15% HP, but this can only happen once per fight. The very last thing to note is that on the steps of Ascension before you face the end boss, you'll run into Edd one last time. He'll say something different depending on which NPC item you chose, or if you didn't pick any at all. Also, you'll get a different ending screen after beating the boss based on these decisions as well. I make all sorts of quick and dirty reviews and insanely useful guides like this one. Sub and check out my channel.